Ja, ich glaube, unser nächster Redner ist Suntou mit Christine. Ihr beide können da hochkommen und wir machen weiter, weil ja, Suntou berichtet über die politische Situation in Gambia auf Englisch und wird von Susanne Rubers übersetzt.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Kala moy jang on jarama musibam fulbe ne ngeen def son bokki olof ka suumay suñ bokki jola guden aben Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are very happy to be here. I've come to this city, this town. Is it a town or city? Tubingen?
It's a town.
It's a town.
It's a university town.
It's a university town. Okay, I come here 2014, and we did a very good program with Kandra and LK and the group, and we appreciate your song in Wolof, Gamano Gilen. I cannot sing it, but we appreciate this as Gambians. Thank you very much. And my brother Safion, he is my stepdad and also my brother. And the wife, LK, we appreciate them and we thank them for the effort they put in place to invite the United Democratic Party here to make us come here and tell you our story. So thank you very much, the two of you and all those who help you and the people who make this facility for you. Thank you.
Suntou hat sich bei Safi und Elke bedankt. Ich mache es kurz, weil wir noch sehr viel Wichtigeres auch hören werden.
Okay, everybody, I think in Europe is aware reasonably about the events going on in Gambia. I'll just talk a little about the operation taking place. It gives me no joy to tell you that my task is easy. It is very easy to tell the story about what is going on in Gambia. I'm not happy that it is easy, but it is very easy to explain these things.
Meine Aufgabe ist sehr leicht. Ich bin nicht froh darüber, dass sie sehr leicht ist, aber es ist sehr leicht, das jetzt zu erklären.
The situation in the Gambia speaks for itself. Those who don't know what's going on a simple Google search, if you search it in German, what's happening in Gambia or the political problem in Gambia, you will know about this. Gambia is about 2 million people. Under the United Nations Human Rights Index, the Gambia is listed as 175th out of 188 countries. Okay, that is the Human Rights Index. You continue, okay. Half the population lives in abject poverty, and everyone lives in the climate of fear, as our previous speaker was saying. The economic hardship and the political repression began 22 years ago when Jammeh, an army lieutenant, seized power. 2 years later, he transformed himself from a military dictatorship to a civilian dictatorship.
Die Situation in Gambia ist folgendermaßen. Wir haben 2 Millionen Einwohner in Gambia. Im UN Human Development Index ist Gambia an 175. Stelle von 188 Ländern. Die Hälfte der Bevölkerung lebt in tiefer Armut. Ökonomische und politische Repression begann vor 22 Jahren, als Yahya Jammeh an die Macht kam oder sie an sich gerissen hat und vom Militärdiktator schließlich zum Zivildiktator wurde durch eine betrügerische Wahl.
Jammeh always used fraud to steal the elections. Since 1994, the situation has only gotten worse for the opposition, the press, the civil service, the NGO, the business community, and the population in general. The penniless soldiers who grabbed power in 1994 have now become the richest men in the world. He possesses business. Yahya Jammeh is doing import and export. He has bakeries, butcheries, shops. He grabs large hectares of land in every region in the Gambia. He owns commercial buildings, houses, farms. He even has a zoo. Okay, his own zoo. He has amassed all these wealth and properties, wielding absolute power. The parliament in the Gambia only do what Yahya Jammeh says, meaning it's a rubber stamp parliament.
Seither verschlimmert sich die Situation in der politischen Opposition, der Presse in Gambia, der NGOs, der Geschäftswelt und der Bevölkerung im Allgemeinen. Der Soldat, der keinen Penny besaß, also Yahya Jammeh, hat die Macht 1994 ergriffen und ist jetzt einer der reichsten Menschen auf der Erde. Er besitzt Import-Export-Firmen, Läden, Bäckereien, besitzt Gebäude, Häuser, Farmen und sogar einen Zoo. So viel Vermögen durch absolute Machtergreifung hat er sich erschlichen. Das Parlament agiert nur als eine Puppe für seine autokratischen Gesetze und die Gerichte agieren ebenso.
If Jammeh wants someone to go to jail, that person will go to jail. It's just a matter of, I want Safian to go to jail, and he will make sure he goes to jail. Any opposition politician or journalist who questions his autocratic styles of governing becomes a target of his secret police. Any business or property owner who dares to defy him stands to lose everything. These are the realities in the Gambia.
Jeder, den Jammeh im Gefängnis haben will, geht auch dorthin. Jeder, der sich gegen seinen autokratischen Regierungsstil wendet, wird ein Ziel des Geheimdienstes. Jeder Geschäftsmann, der sich ihm entgegenstellt, verliert alles. Das ist momentan die gambische Realität.
The annual human rights report of the State Department of the United States America provides grim reading of the Gambia. Year after year, it catalogues Yahya Jammeh's endless trampling on the constitutional and democratic rights of the citizens. The Amnesty International's assessments are bleaker, if in worse. And Jeffrey Smith of Robert Kennedy Center for Justice and Human Rights called him the worst dictator you've never heard of. Meaning, many people in this room might not know who Yahya Jammeh is, but he is one of the worst dictators you may never have heard of.
Der jährliche Bericht zu den Menschenrechten des State Departments der USA berichtet Schlimmes aus Gambia. Es dokumentiert jedes Jahr das Trampeln auf den Verfassungsrechten und den demokratischen Rechten der Bürger. Amnesty Internationals Einschätzung ist sogar schlimmer und Smith vom Kennedy Center nannte ihn den schlimmsten Diktator, von dem man je gehört hat.
For us in the opposition, especially our party, the UDP, and the party members, we are perceived as his greatest threats, as Mr. Jatta says. Therefore, he reserved his most savage repressions against us. And in April 2014, for instance, the UDP was going on a countrywide tour just to do a caravan tour, and the police stopped our convoy at first in Jagachoy. The explanation given by the Police Inspector General was that we don't have any public address system, public meeting permit.
Wir als UDP-Mitglieder sind seine größten Gegner und Feinde und daher treffen uns auch die größten Repressionen. Im April 2014 war Rechtsanwalt Darbo auf Tour. Die Polizei stoppte ihn unter einem Vorwand, dass er keine offizielle Erlaubnis für die Tour habe. I forgot when you stopped. Did you Can I continue? Okay, I continue a little bit, then you can continue. dass er keine offizielle Erlaubnis für die Tour habe. 5 Tage wurde Darboe aufgehalten, aber dank der internationalen Öffentlichkeit, die wir bekamen, hat der UDP-Führer seine Tour fortgesetzt, um die Botschaft der UDP weiter zu verbreiten. Die Botschaft der Demokratie, Entwicklung und des Gesetzes, also Rule of Law.
Okay. The motive for stopping us going out is for undermine our efforts to build a greater support across the country. This was no different, but for the first time, we decided that we will not comply. We refused, and we had a standoff with them, with the police and their guns for 5 days, and our supporters were sleeping in the open, with Yaya Jammeh not backing down, and for us also not backing down. But after the 5th day, with the EU and everybody in our support, he backed down and we went on the country, which was a great victory for Gambian opposition. Okay. 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 So you were copying. As it turned out, the regime drew a stark conclusion. Because they are dictators, they must have the last word. And he decided that the next time we had a confrontation, he will not back down, and he will use whatever means is necessary to stop us. Yaya Jammeh can't be a dictator if he can't have his way. In his distorted mind, he must reassert his authority in the next incident to show the UDP and the entire nation at large that everyone must bend to his will.
Nach diesem Ereignis, das Suntou gerade erzählt hat, hat Yaya Jammeh sich bloßgestellt gefühlt und musste seine Autorität wiederherstellen, unter Beweis stellen, um der UDP und der Welt zu zeigen, dass sich jeder seinem Willen beugen muss.
And the next incident we had an encounter with him was on April 14th, this year, 2016. Our National Organizing Secretary, Ibrahim Sandeng, went out on an electoral reform peaceful protest. I will show you a short video. There's not going to be any noise of these people.
Das nächste Ereignis hat am 14.04.2016 stattgefunden. Ebrima Solo Sandeng führte eine Demo an für Wahlreformen. Es war eine friedfertige Demonstration.
Okay. There is no sound. But as you can see, this is Ibrahim Solo Sandeng and his group. We are leading everything. Okay. Okay. So these are the peaceful protest people with white flags. They have no guns. They have no sticks. They have no arms. Absolutely nothing. Most of them are young people with some women in there. And in the banner, all they were saying is, we need electoral reform. So these are our supporters. That's Solo Sandeng, who was in the front there. All these people you see are about 25 in number that was arrested that day. And I'll be telling you the story of 3 of the women who were arrested, but 2 of them who gave their testimony of what they did to them on that day.
Es war eine ganz friedliche Demonstration, ohne Waffen, ohne Stöcke, ohne irgendwas. Es waren etwa 25 Leute, die an diesem Tag festgenommen wurden und darunter auch 3 weibliche Aktivistinnen. Und ich werde Ihnen dann gleich die Geschichte dieser 3 Frauen noch erzählen.
These people were not demanding or trying to fight or trying to break into cars or break into shops or do anything. All they were doing is, because in the Gambia, if you are 65, he says you cannot contest as a president. And the Electoral Commission is under the control of him alone. The commissioner can decide the result anyway, and we cannot do nothing. So these are some of the reforms that these people, ordinary civilians, with this megaphone, were just demanding, and they were arrested. The Police Intervention Unit and the paramilitary branch of the security, they swoop on them and round them up with Ibrahim Solo Sandeng, who is their leader, with 24 others. Among them were Miss Nokoyenjai, Miss Fatoumata Jawara, and Miss Fatou Kamara.
Also neben Solo Sandeng wurden noch 24 weitere Aktivistinnen festgenommen an diesem Tag, darunter Miss Noga Noye, Mrs. Fatoumata Jawara und Miss Fatou Kamara.
Darf ich kurz, was war das Ziel der Demo? Das habe ich nicht verstanden.
Das war eine Wahlreform, also dass man für eine Wahlreform friedvoll demonstriert.
The peaceful protesters, this baby you're saying, I'm going to go off script. This baby you're saying, her mother was arrested with the baby on May the 9th when they were coming from a trial. This is Fatoumata Jawara. She is tortured until she can't stand. She was bleeding for over 3 weeks. This is Ibrahim Solo Sandeng, who was beaten to death. This is a very fit and very strong guy. They handcuffed him from behind and they attacked him. These are some of our supporters who were just attending court to give solidarity to Hussein Odabo. They were attacked with soldiers with guns. This is Hussein Odabo in the middle with all the Gambian flags, protesting to release the body of Solo Sandeng, who was killed under state custody. This is Amadou Sane. He is our party treasurer. He's in jail now for 4 years. He didn't commit any crime. These are some of our supporters who are attacked, just to show you guys the reality of being a young supporter. In this crowd here, we will have some of our supporters. I recognize some of them. If they happen to be part of that court, this is the treatment they will give them. These were people arrested on May the 9th for just merely going to court to support your opposition leader. They have no guns, no arms. I think you are following. This is Noko Injai. It's a lady about 52 who was arrested. Is also in jail still now. She was beaten. I will read her account to you here because we want people to know it's no joke in the Gambia. The other lady is Fatou Kamara. She's also in jail, sentenced to 3 years with the 3 of them. These are women. The treatment they give them, we have to tell their story. Unfortunately, because they have no voice of themselves. When they were arrested, the statement that they read, they read to the lawyers. We will read just a bit of portion of it here in a little bit.
Ja, wir haben eben Bilder gesehen. Ich glaube, jeder hat gemerkt, was vor sich geht. Das Bild von der jungen Mutter, die gefoltert wurde, die geschlagen wurde, vergewaltigt wurde, mehrere Tage blutete. Dann Solo Sandeng, der auch umgebracht wurde im Gefängnis. Und auch Daro, der Rechtsanwalt der UDP und auch Parteiführer, der jetzt ebenfalls 4 Jahre im Gefängnis gelandet ist. Und das alles aufgrund einer völlig friedlichen Demonstration, ohne Waffen, ohne Tumulte oder Sonstiges.
The peaceful protesters were whisked away to the police intervention unit in Carnifing, and about 6 o'clock in the evening, they were transported to the Mile 2 prisons. That is called by the UN Observer Mission as the worst prison in Africa. About 2 o'clock at night, these 3 women, including 23 men, were taken to the intelligence agency headquarters. It's called the NIA. I think with the NIA, some of these boys sitting over there will be afraid, because when you hear their name, in Gambia, you are terrified. From that point, everything went downhill for our supporters in prison. The NIA tortured us with murder solo, as I said earlier. And instead of giving his body, if you kill somebody, in Gambia traditionally you give the body to the family. Whatever happened, we do a post-mortem, then we do the burial. The family do the mourning, and the wife go into a mourning period of about 3 months. But the NIA wanted to cover this up. Even though they arrested them in broad daylight, I saw you the videos, they wanted to cover this up. Noko Injai, Fatmata Jawara, and Fatu Kamara all ended up in coma for a period of time after being beaten.
Ja, die Aktivisten und Demonstranten wurden in das schlimmste Gefängnis Afrikas in der Nähe von Banjul gebracht, der Hauptstadt Gambias, um 2 Uhr morgens dann abgeholt und zum Hauptquartier der National Intelligence Agency gebracht. Die NIA hat einen schlechten Namen, davor fürchten sich alle jungen Leute oder auch alle älteren Leute wahrscheinlich in Gambia, weil sie berühmt berüchtigt ist. Die NIA-Folterer ermordeten Solo Sandeng. Der Körper wurde niemals der Familie zurückgegeben und die Trauerzeremonie, die in Gambia normalerweise erfolgt, konnte nicht durchgeführt werden, weil die NIA diesen Vorfall natürlich vertuschen wollte. Die 3 weiblichen Aktivistinnen lagen alle im Koma, nachdem sie brutal geschlagen wurden.
Solo Sanding's murder and the brutal beatings of these 3 women would not be officially confirmed. The world learned about them because of consensus elements within the security forces that leaked the message of the barbarism. The full facts about what happened to these people at 2 o'clock on April 15th came to be known the following month when Fatmata Jawara and Noko Njai testified in court, i.e. in their absence. The suit filed at the High Court was a legal strategy to compel the regime to break their silence on Solo's fate. They produced a death certificate claiming that Solo died because of respiratory failure. Simply put, they murdered him in cold blood.
Offiziell wurde nichts zugegeben von der gambischen Regierung. Alles wurde schließlich durch Zeugenaussagen vor Gericht durch die Frauen belegt und es wurde dann klar, dass hier einfach gemordet wurde.
What form of torture did the NIA unleash on Solo and the others before going into Noko's and Fatmata's statement? Allow me to describe the circumstances which made their disposition. The first, the women were still under detention. Fatmata Jawara and Nokoi were giving their statement to the lawyers still in prison, which means they left some information. And when they were interviewing them, the lawyers, the security will stand there. So you are still afraid because the lawyer's gonna go home and you're gonna remain with them in the prisons. So whatever you say, the system already knows it. And these women were still afraid of the security coming after them afterwards. However, the women, they still summoned the courage to share the gruesome experience, what happened to them. A lot of young men in this room here who are Gambians, if they are tortured by the NIA, I'm not sure any of them will stand up and say, I'm lying. If you ask them, they will say, nothing happened to me. Am I right or wrong?
Suntou möchte gerne genau über die Formen der Folter berichten, die die Frauen zu erdulden hatten. Und wir haben das also erst über das Gericht erfahren. Sie mussten vor dem System, also da waren Sicherheitskräfte und die Regierung zugegen, während sie das bezeugen, was ihnen passiert war. Und sie waren außerdem noch im Gefängnis und hatten damit wieder Repressalien zu befürchten. Und Suntou sagt, dass viele Gambier hier, die von der NIA gefoltert wurden, auch jetzt noch so viel Angst haben, dass sie immer sagen werden, dass nichts passiert sei, dass ihnen nichts passiert sei.
However, still these two women, they tell their story. They may have left some out due to extra fear, but they gave us an insight of what happened to Solo and what happened to all of them. Fatoumata Jawara is only 26 and is a mother of 3 kids. The night of their arrest, she told the court they were transferred in different vehicles, prison vehicles, to the intelligence headquarters. And once they arrived there, they were taken into different rooms. One of the men grabbed her. He pulled her off because she's already married against the custom. She tried to defend herself. However, he forced her and then blindfolded her and then threatened her. You are UDP, you want to destroy this enjoyable regime, but we will deal with you guys. She was taken to another room and undressed, because when they torture you naked. And then she said that was when the whipping started, meaning the beating. And during this process, they will be pouring cold water over you whilst they whip you until she collapses. They place her on a desk, just like this table. And about 10 minutes, this is her story I'm telling, what she gave. About 10 men came to rape her. And she, in that state, she was telling them to kill her instead of raping her, because killing her would be more easier rather than 10 men raping her, she told them. In a rare moment of sanity on their part, they changed their mind. However, that was only a reprieve she would be allowed. They gave back her wrapper and carried her to an interrogation room. When they couldn't make her to give incriminating answers in their questions, the interrogators drew her out of the room, and some other officers dragged her into another room and left her on the floor with Fatou Camara.
Diese 2 Frauen sagten Folgendes vor Gericht aus. Fatoumata, die Mutter von 3 Kindern, als sie zur NIA Headquarters gebracht wurde, schnappte sie einen Mann, er legte ihr ein Tuch um die Augen und bedrohte sie. Sie versuchte sich zu wehren und musste sich dann ausziehen. Folter geschieht meistens nackt. Sie wurde dann ausgepeitscht, bis sie kollabierte, und dabei wurde Wasser über sie geleert. 10 Männer kamen rein, um sie zu vergewaltigen. In einem kurzen Moment von Nachsicht ließen sie dann doch von ihr ab, weil sie sagte, bringt mich lieber um, als dass ihr das mit mir macht. Und sie ließen also tatsächlich dann von ihr ab und brachten sie in einen weiteren Befragungsraum und befragten sie weiter.
She couldn't stand on her own, much less walk to the bathroom, because after they dropped her down, she fainted and she was unconscious. The only thing she remembered was 2 ladies, which are intelligence ladies, took her in a wheelchair, and then with her injuries, both of them crying, these intelligent ladies, and they bathed her in hot water and took her back into her room. She collapsed again. During the time, she could hear Nokoi crying, another lady. That was the last thing she remembered for several days. Around midday, she found herself in the clinic inside the NIA. Fatu Kamara, who was also admitted there for torture-related health complications, informed her that Solo had passed away. The next thing Fatoumata knew was that she was urinating blood. That went on for 13 days. She had been at the clinic. All the 3 female detainees were taken back to detention cells. The only people they saw were those who brought them their food. On the 28th of April, they were taken back to the Mile 2 prisons. They were detained inside the convicted wing on the claims that they were assembling on a piece or not assembling disorderly. They had no access to medicine, and their families were not allowed to see them. She still wore that same wrapper with stained blood.
Fatoumata konnte nicht mehr stehen, war bewusstlos und lag am Boden. Die Frauen badeten sie dann in heißem Wasser und weinten, die dort gearbeitet haben. Sie brachten sie zu ihrem Raum zurück, sie kollabierte dort nochmals. Dann wurde Fatoumata informiert, dass Solo umgebracht wurde. Sie urinierte Blut und lag 13 Tage lang so da, ohne medizinische Versorgung. Sie durfte auch ihre Familie nicht sehen.
Okay, I will make Nokoi's statement a bit brief. Not to make it a bit gloomy here. Nokoinjai's statement was similar to Fatoumata. However, she was not blindfolded. Fatoumata was blindfolded when she was tortured, but this one was not blindfolded, so she saw everything that they were doing. This is why her statement was more detailed. Now, she's giving us the description of these men. We call them black. Not because they are black, but because of what they wear. They wear black hood and black gloves. And they drive with no number plates on the vehicles. So when they're coming after you, people tell you the blacks are coming, or the what? What name do we use for them? Young blacks. So they have a black mask and black gloves. One of them broke Nokoi's finger. This is a lady in 51 years. When she tries to pull away because she was getting afraid of them. And the same, they undressed her as well, placed her on a table, and began lashing her, pouring water. All they wanted them to do was to say it was Hussein Dabo who told them to protest. Because Yahya Jammeh only wanted to kill Hussein, but he was looking for that hard evidence. So when he arrested these people, they used all torture means to make them say this, but they said, no, this is our own human rights and constitutional rights we were doing. Now, she passed off to the interrogators who, in spite of what she had just been through, asked her to become a member of the ruling party. After beating you and doing all torture, the one thing they want is for you to join their party. When she refused and wouldn't incriminate herself, they took her to a tiny cell, stanching with urine. There she found 3 other detainees who were, for their turn, being tortured. A few minutes later, Solo Sandeng, who was the leader of their protest, was brought in. His body was bloody, his face swollen. He lay down in severe pain on the bare concrete floor. Whilst Nokoi was massaging him, they came back, and then his scream echoed from the nearby room as he was being tortured again. When they returned, Nokoi outside, she saw Solo the last time. He was lying abandoned on the ground, naked and bleeding.
Nokos Augen wurden während der Folter nicht verbunden. Sie sah daher mehr als Fatoumata. Sie sah die Männer, die auch Black genannt werden, weil sie schwarze Kleidung tragen, schwarze Masken, schwarze Autos fahren und das Ganze ohne Autoschild, damit sie alles Mögliche in Gambia begehen können, ohne dass nach ihnen gefahndet werden kann. Und sie nennen sich die Junglos. Einer brach ihr dann den Finger, als sie vor Angst zurückwich. Jammeh wollte unbedingt ein Eingeständnis von ihr, dass jemand sie angestiftet hat. Ich muss noch mal fragen, wer das war. Wer? Darbo, genau, dankeschön. Danach sollte sie Mitglied der Partei des Präsidenten werden. Sie sagte, sie wolle das nicht tun und wurde dann in eine Zelle gebracht, wo 3 weitere gefolterte Menschen lagen und ein weiterer Aktivist, der brutal gefoltert wurde, also Solo, der dann später ja tatsächlich umgebracht wurde.
Most of these torturing and torturers are usually unconscious. They are drunk most of the time. If you are interrogating somebody and you are conscious as the interrogator, maybe you know when to stop. But most of the time, they themselves are drunk. So it is not unusual for people to die without themselves realizing the person is dead. Solo lost consciousness and died soon after. As for the 3 female detainees, one of them is suffering from high blood pressure and diabetic complications. Fatma Jawara still is having spinal problem. He can't sit down, he most of the time is lying down. And Fatou Kamara developed breathing difficulties and panic attacks. And these 3 women are all sentenced to 3 years imprisonment for doing the peaceful protest that I saw you here. Now, the second day of the news of Solo Sunday's killing, the UDP leader led a peaceful protest with senior party executives, and all their demand was give us the body of Solo and release the peaceful prisoners. And himself, instead of meeting him with the civilized police, we've lived in different European cities,